You guys have to watch this video. This is right after October 7th, and this woman is defending Hamas. A lot of people like to say that Israel had a lot of, a lot of sympathy after October 7th, and they should have just backed off. Well, not really, because right after October 7th, if you remember, there were rallies in New York City. And this is Erin Molan debating a Hamas supporter. Check it out.
What is your reaction to what occurred in Israel on Saturday?
I wasn't surprised. Anybody who's been paying attention to the suffering of Palestinians now would know that there is no people who can withstand the kind of intense subjugation and oppression, ethnic cleansing, settler colonialism that they have, and just acquiesce to their suffering and oppression. At some point, Palestinians, like all people, are going to demand freedom and resist occupation. And they have tried every avenue of political means, every avenue of peaceful resistance, and every single step has been blockaded to them. Particularly in Gaza, when you have a 16-year siege, land, sea, water, blockade. The United Nations said that it would be uninhabitable by 2020, and it's 2023 now. So those conditions are a powder keg, and every Palestinian has been saying for years now, this is an unsustainable situation for Palestinians. So there was no surprise at what has happened, just extreme tragedy that we have allowed this to happen as an international community because of the lack of will to start imposing international law and treat Israel as a state that should not be afforded.
Hold on. She's saying that there's been a 16-year blockade on Gaza, and that Israel has been blockading Gaza in some way, and that Israel is responsible for providing food, water, and aid to Gaza. This is before October 7th. Why are we responsible for Gaza, for Gaza's food, or for Gaza's water? Egypt is also on their border. You can actually build something with all the international aid that Gaza is getting. This woman is delusional. Gaza has gotten more aid than all the nations got in Europe after World War II. So Gaza gets tons of aid, and they use it to dig tunnels to shoot at Israel. So this is just completely delusional off the bat. And Erin, I'm sure, is going to, put her in her place.
The luxury of impunity in the way that it subjugates Palestinians and oppresses them.
You say one of the reasons for the atrocities that occurred in Israel on Saturday is the oppression of Palestinian people. Do you separate Hamas from Palestine?
No, I think it's a question that doesn't really make sense because...
Well, Hamas is a terrorist organisation. That's how we identify them there. And there are innocent Palestinians, absolutely, that have suffered, as have there been innocent Israelis that have suffered. But Hamas is a terrorist organisation.
What's the function of your question, though? What we need to talk about the cause of this here. A lot of media and analysts keep making this about Hamas versus Israel. Let's get back to the nature of who is Israel. It is a state that was imposed on a majority indigenous population through ethnic cleansing, through massacres, through depopulation and refugee crisis. It's a settler colony. It's an apartheid state by every human rights organisation in the world.
Okay, so hold on. So this woman is saying that Israel was imposed on the Palestinians. No. They had half the land. We had half the land. They attacked us. They lost. We gave back some of the land. They attacked us. They lost. We gave back some of the land. They attacked us. They lost. They lost their land. They continue to lose their land and continue to lose their land until we actually, this cycle continued. We gave them back the land of Gaza. In 2005, we left. Then they continue to attack us. We've had 5 wars in Gaza because they keep on attacking us. They're vowed to Israel's destruction from the beginning. What is this woman on?
Hamas does not represent all of Palestinians, but every single Palestinian, whether from the West Bank, from Gaza, the refugees, the Israeli Arabs who are discriminated against, are all wanting freedom and liberation.
Okay, there has been violence from both sides over many, many years.
Wrong.
Absolutely, there has been.
Not
by both
equal,
sides
not equal.
Over many, many years.
It's not a situation of parity.
What occurred on Saturday by Hamas was beyond anything we have ever seen before. There is no way you can sit there and not condemn the actions of Hamas? Do you condemn the beheading of babies?
First of all, the beheading story has been actually refuted by Israeli authorities, so you are repeating and propagating propaganda.
It has not been refuted by Israeli.
Oh, so now she wants to take Israeli word for it. Now she wants to parrot the Israeli authorities. This is actually shocking to me because this is right after October 7th. And, there's such a level of, tolerance for these views a few days after October 7th. This is literally, I think 2 days after that Saturday. Just insane.
Authorities.
Yes, it has.
The US, Blinken is there. He has seen verified images. There are independent journalists who have verified the existence of images of babies who have been beheaded and burnt babies. Are you trying to say that is propaganda?
Yeah, I am, because actually today that image of a burnt baby was exposed as AI intelligence. And can I just say something? Let's say that these atrocities were committed, which are of course must be condemned and are atrocities. Let's say that they were committed, and we know that atrocities were committed. Why is it that only Jewish babies matter? Why is it that you're only taking an interest now?
No.
Why did the clock start on October 7th when babies have literally been murdered and massacred?
You were on Q&A 2 years ago. The fight has been covered for years and years.
No. I was on Q&A only because there were rockets fired into Israel. Come and bring me onto your show when Palestinians are being displaced from their homes, when they are being
that is happening right now.
When settlers
Israel is retaliating. They are telling civilians to get out. They are not doing what Hamas did to them.
Are you telling me that white phosphorus on Gaza at the moment is acceptable? It's a war crime. That displacement
you want to
of
talk about war
populations,
crimes?
Even the way
Do you want to talk about the rape of innocent women? What happened on Saturday, you must condemn.
I've already condemned it. Why are you questioning
this obsession with getting Hamas supporters to condemn Hamas actions, I think, is misplaced. They openly support Hamas. You don't need to get them to fake condemn them so that the West, can continue to see them on television. She's a Hamas supporter. Throw her to the wind. She shouldn't have any airtime.
Humanity here. Do you think I'm a monster that I would not condemn this?
You have defended Hamas in the past. You have also sat in a panel with a Hamas terrorist. You have also retweeted a tweet that is calling for the destruction of Israel. Do you want Israel eradicated? I've looked at your past. I am asking you because you have said and done things in the past. Do you stand by them?
What you're saying here is nonsense.
How is that nonsense?
Because you're trying to paint Palestinians and me, people who are just demanding basic dignity and freedom.
I have immense sympathy for innocent Palestinian civilians. I shed tears when I saw kids in hospital in Gaza that were the victim of this.
God bless white women's tears. God bless white women's tears.
Now you're attacking my race.
Where were your tears last
My
week
tears have existed for any atrocity that has occurred to any child in the world. I've got you on here to ask you about Hamas, about those atrocities. I have acknowledged Palestinian suffering, but I am here to talk about what Hamas did to Israeli babies.
I have already addressed that, and I said if we are going
to justifying it. How can you justify it?
I did not justify anything.
You said the reason Saturday occurred is because your people have been oppressed. If your people have been oppressed, if they are occupied, wage a war. If you feel justified in waging a war, fight Israeli soldiers with guns. Don't behead babies. You're laughing at it.
Because you do realise that there is a siege in Gaza where not even food is allowed in.
The Israeli government is sending out warnings to civilians. Yes, this is their retaliation.
Are you here to scream at me or interview me?
I'm not screaming at you at all, but I also can't let you spout things on here that I don't.
You're not letting me talk.
This is my show. Okay, talk.
Okay, so can I talk? First of all, you're saying, why don't we fight Israeli soldiers? You do realise that Palestinians are under military occupation.
Absolutely.
You do realise that there is a siege there. We do.
Did you catch that? Why didn't we fight the Israeli soldiers? She's associating herself with Palestinians and with Hamas. She's saying, why didn't my side go and, do that? And it goes to show you, these ideologues, these people that defend Hamas, they are culpable. 100,000%. They are culpable in some manner and fashion for covering the war crimes and the absolute savagery of Hamas. Let's just watch the end of this, one or two more minutes.
Not have a standing army. You do realise that Israel is armed to the teeth Talk to me about that. Talk to me about the settler violence that happens on a daily basis, the murder of Palestinian children by Israelis. Talk to me about occupation. Talk to me about the siege on Gaza. It is uninhabitable, water that is not drinkable, and yet Israeli settlers and Israelis enjoy swimming pools. They enjoy the accessing free water.
If you genuinely feel aggrieved, and I acknowledge there are people on both sides who genuinely feel aggrieved. My heart breaks for you. Yeah.
I'm coming here as someone.
Do you condemn Hamas then? Tell me that.
I have already said that I condemn the violence that Hamas perpetrated.
Hamas as an organisation, a terrorist organisation, will you condemn them?
I don't see them as a terrorist organisation.
Did you not see the vision of them shooting down people like animals, and you will not condemn the organisation that perpetrated that violence on innocent people?
What is the purpose of a terrorist label here?
Well, the purpose is so that they get delegitimized on the world stage. Although I do think that you condemning them doesn't help anything. Just shocking, guys. Anyone that tells you that Israel had sympathy after October 7th, it's a lie. We had no sympathy. Israel had zero sympathy. If anything, people hated Israel more then. This whole idea that if we retaliate, then the world is going to hate us. It's BS. People right after October 7th were tweeting, "Yay, go Hamas. Yay, from the river to the sea." This is what it is. Zero sympathy, and we shouldn't want sympathy from people like that. For more, subscribe to the channel. If you want to help us make more of these videos, you can go to buymeacoffee.com/JewishUncensored. Thank you, and have a good one.